Old school weapon shocks alien students with deadly power. The lecture hall. The Interstellar Academy of Sciences was the pride of the Galactic Concord, a sprawling university orbiting the star Zaltrian Prime. Within its crystal halls, thousands of species studied physics, biology, warfare, and philosophy. But that morning, the academy buzzed with unusual curiosity. Human exchange student Daniel Reeves had been assigned to give a presentation in comparative armaments. His classmates expected diagrams of crude Terran weapons, maybe a few anecdotes about humanity's short, violent history. Instead, he walked in carrying a long, worn case. The alien students tilted their heads, mandibles, and eye stalks in unison. "What is that?" hissed Arthur, a scaled ossuary with 6 arms. Daniel set the case on the table and snapped it open. Inside lay polished wood and cold steel, an AK-47 assault rifle. The lecture hall fell silent. 2. The laughter. Professor Colleague, a shimmering Illyri with translucent wings, raised a delicate brow. "Mr. Reeves, surely you jest. That contraption is thousands of years obsolete." Daniel smirked. "Obsolete? Maybe. Ineffective? Not a chance." The students burst into laughter. The Keltari twins clacked their mandibles in amusement. "A towering yaw bellowed, primitive sticks that throw metal? Your species truly is backward." Daniel shrugged, unbothered. This rifle changed Earth forever. Wars, revolutions, nations, entire empires crumbled before it. Simple. Reliable. Deadly. He held it up. The aliens flinched instinctively. Something about the way it gleamed in his hands felt wrong, even ancient. "Why," one student sneered, "would anyone fear such a thing when we have plasma cannons and antimatter beams?" Daniel's grin widened. "Because this doesn't need fuel cells. Or magnetic coils. Or power grids. Just powder and lead. And it works anywhere. Mud, snow, vacuum. When your plasma rifle jams in the rain, this will still kill you." 3. The demonstration. The professor waved her wings impatiently. "Show them, then. Let us see this artifact perform." The academy's combat range shimmered into existence, its holographic walls stretching high. Alien cadets set up sleek plasma rifles, railguns, and energy blades. They shot targets with dazzling light shows, melting them into slag. The crowd cheered. Then Daniel stepped forward with his relic. He loaded a curved magazine with sharp clicks, chambered a round, and aimed. The sound was not a hum, not a whine of charging capacitors. It was a crack. Loud. Violent. Final. Crack, crack, crack. The paper target, reinforced with alloy plating, shredded into ribbons. Smoke curled. Shell casings clattered to the floor. The aliens stared. "That noise," whispered the yaw. "It's like thunder." "And the holes," hissed Arthur. He leaned close. "Clean. Precise. Not melted. Not burned. Torn." Daniel ejected the magazine, showing it half empty. 30 rounds. All mechanical. All reliable. And I can replace parts with a wrench. He held up a single bullet. "And this costs less than a meal. You don't need a reactor. You don't need crystals harvested from dying suns. You just need this little piece of lead and brass." 4. The shock. The students murmured, unease spreading. "But why does it feel so wrong?" whispered a Keltari. Daniel's gaze darkened. "Because it was made for nothing but killing. Not honor. Not glory. Not precision. Just death." He set the rifle down gently, like a priest laying aside a holy relic. Humans designed weapons not to dazzle, not to impress, but to be used by anyone, anywhere, against anything. "That's what terrifies you." Our weapons don't rely on brilliance. They rely on inevitability. Professor Colique fluttered her wings nervously. A weapon so crude, yet so accessible. Any farmer could wield it. Exactly, Daniel said. That's why regimes feared it. That's why armies spread it across continents. It gave the powerless a way to strike back. And once it appeared, the world never went back. The challenge. Arthur stepped forward, sneering. A parlor trick. I challenge you. My ossuary plasma rifle against your Terran stick. The crowd roared in approval. The professor hesitated, then nodded. Very well. A live test. Non-lethal rounds only. Daniel smirked. Deal. They faced each other across the range. Arthur raised his gleaming plasma rifle, its coils humming. Daniel crouched, AK in hand, eyes sharp. The buzzer sounded. Arthur fired first, searing bolts of plasma splashed against the walls, the air sizzling. But his weapon overheated after 3 rapid bursts, vents hissing steam. Daniel. He squeezed the trigger. Crack, 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 crack. The recoil thumped against his shoulder, smoke curling from the barrel. The bullets slammed into the target plate inches from Arthur's chest. The alien froze, mandibles trembling. His plasma rifle clicked, useless, still venting heat. Daniel lowered his weapon, calm. That's the difference. You have fire. I have fire that doesn't stop. 6. The lesson. The hall fell silent. Professor Colique finally spoke. Perhaps we have underestimated your species. Daniel gave a thin smile. You call us fragile. Primitive. Reckless. Maybe we are. But when the galaxy collapses, when your batteries die and your reactors fail, guess what still works? This. He tapped the rifle. He let the silence hang. That's why you should fear us. Because we make simple things deadly. Because we don't stop when the power's gone. Because war for us is survival. The students stared, not laughing now. Some looked disturbed. Others fascinated. All of them unsettled. 7. The aftermath. That night, whispers spread through the dorms. They say the human's weapon doesn't run out of charge. They say it can fire underwater. They say it can kill a god. The AK-47 became a ghost story in the Academy halls, a relic that proved humanity's brutality and resilience. And Daniel Reeves, the quiet cadet with the old-school weapon, walked the corridors with new respect and new fear following him. Because for the first time, the alien students understood. Humanity didn't need advanced weapons to be dangerous. They just needed something that worked.